Hello and welcome back to Europe 1100, and we are here attempting to take this castle. I will not attempt to pronounce the name of the castle, but I know that it is somewhere in the United Kingdom, because geography, or should I say more accurately, geology, which is the study of, places in the world, obviously, and geography is the study of rocks, right? Okay, I'm just kidding, okay? I'm just kidding. Anyway, the point is, I've actually tried a different strategy this time in this siege. We have fire ballistas, and what's really quite funny is that this has strangely turned out to be a super easy and simple way to eliminate the enemy from using their siege engines. I'm kind of surprised because usually, you know me, I do not really like using ballistas, mostly because they just do not have any staying power. They just die, and they do, they have literally 500 HP, catapults kill them in one hit, and most of the time the enemy has catapults, so what are you going to get? You're just literally going to get these things dying instantly. And that's exactly what happened here. But the enemy couldn't keep up. They couldn't keep up with our production of our ballistas in comparison to the enemy catapults. And eventually, and after only, I think, two destructions, or two of our ballistas were destroyed, more like, that was enough to give us the sway in the battle. I'm going to be making another two-handed mace. I'm just, I was just wanting to actually test out this this particular method of besieging, because obviously what better way to test it out than in a small-scale siege that is maybe not going to be so much of a huge issue, you know what I mean? Now, obviously, this could have been enhanced by me actually creating catapults of my own, Getting catapults of my own would have been very, very effective. I would have been able to, place them here and on the other side, and then they would be bombarding the walls, and they'd be doing a relatively decent job with it. However, I don't know whether you noticed, but the ballista, or should we say the various ballistas, are actually getting quite a few kills. I mean, obviously not a massive amount or anything like that, but usually the AI is not that effective in general whenever they use siege engines. Sometimes they are a great deal, but that's mostly when they are in the defense. Usually that's what's going to make the most of a difference. But anyway, the point is, this is maybe a new strategy that I might be trying to utilize in slightly harder sieges. And I'm mostly talking about towns here with, I don't know, 600, 700 troops. And let's just say that we can't starve them out or anything like that, because they just have way too much food. And let's say that we don't want to spend a huge amount of time with trebuchets and all that. It's going to be a pretty fun idea, or at least I think it's going to be a fun idea, to test this out. Now, the enemy is obviously not really going to have the opportunity. Oh, wait a minute. Am I actually going to die here if I stay here? I think I might actually die here. Do you see where this arrow has embedded itself in our neck? Wow. That's very rude, isn't it? I think he'd probably be dead at this point, wouldn't he? I don't know. I mean, it's right in his spinal column, isn't it? It feels like it's right in his spinal column. It feels like I'm getting shot, actually. But anyway, the point is, that looks painful. It does look painful. Anyway, the main issue with this is the fact that it takes so long for all of your siege engines to get to the walls. If I didn't have my super speed mod right now, I would literally just be... I would be having so much aggravation right now. I really would, because I just have to sit there and wait. And that would be extremely frustrating. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Maybe it's actually going to go super, super well. And maybe we're going to be overjoyed as to how impressive this actually is, because it's been a long time since I've actually used a combination of siege tower and battering ram, and most of the time in the past, whenever I've used this combination, I have not destroyed the enemy catapults beforehand. So maybe I got a bit of a bit of a corrupted view of how effective it actually could be if I did it properly, like I have done now, where I've destroyed the catapults. Because I think that destroying the catapults is basically a requirement nowadays, because the enemy is actually surprisingly good at using them. Very efficient. They're able to get a lot of kills, they're able to do a lot of damage, and in more cases, or should we say more often than not, they are literally just capable of murdering whole legions worth of your troops without even stepping outside of the walls. So that's something to, well, that's definitely something to think about, at least. Yeah, this, oh no, oh, I dodged that. Did you see that? I literally stepped away from him at the last moment, just as he was about to slash with his axe. Because, of course, axes have such a short, you know, such a short reach that it's very, very simple for me to do that. And thankfully, I just have enough athletics to maybe, you know, to actually make that work. Because if I didn't, well, I wouldn't be able to do those kinds of maneuvers. And that's the reason why I also find that characters with high movement speed builds are some of my favorite in the entire game. And you may think, oh, what is your favorite build? I think it might be that. I don't know. I think that's maybe something for, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you right now. I mean, obviously, I might actually just ask on the community page in like a poll or something like that. But I'm just going to ask you right now, to those of you that enjoy this series, how would you feel about me making like a, I don't know, like a tier list video, you know, and just basically being like, okay, which are my favorite builds? What builds do I think are the most powerful? And which skills, which perks, and so on and so forth. Obviously, I'm not going to be rating perks specifically, or maybe I should. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure just yet. This is just a preliminary thought that I had in my head literally just 5 seconds ago. So it's not something that I've been thinking about for the last 200 years or anything like that. So it's just literally a very passing thought. But would that be interesting to you? That's the question. I don't know. Would it? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to do this. We're going to take the most exclusive experience, and we're just going to show mercy. I generally like to show mercy almost all the time, just purely for the fact that I do not want, I don't want the prosperity to go down. You know, the prosperity is really, really important to me at this point. Now, actually, let me just take a quick look here. Oh, they don't have any fairgrounds. Okay, so I'm going to just stop the walls from being increased right here. And the siege workshop. I'm not entirely sure what the AI was doing. Personally, I feel like fairgrounds are probably one of the most important things to go for here. But who am I? Who am I? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully our policies are actually going to have a significant impact on what's actually happening here. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see, we'll see. Anyway, there you go. So basically this is the castle. Ah, it seems like we actually missed this town down here. Did I take that town before? Or did I miss it completely? I think I may have missed it. Oh, that's a big oversight on my part. Oh well. Never mind. Where is Mr. Horse Thief, by the way? I don't know where he is. Maybe he's, well, I actually kind of hope that he's doing something. I don't obviously know. Is he not? I feel like I need to look where he is, because I'm now worried that he's just running around doing nothing. Oh, these guys actually need some, they need some influence. As you can see, Mr. Horse Thief has 6,000 influence. I'm not entirely sure what he's even going to do with that, to be honest. I mean, if he can run an army, that's absolutely fine. You know, by all means, please run the army, and please do as much as you can, sir. But, yeah, he has so many thieves. I mean, you know, to be fair, he is clan tier 5 as well, by the way. He is clan tier 5. These ones are all clan tier 2. So that's the reason, I suppose, that he's earning so much influence. Obviously, he's winning most of the battles that he participates in as well, because he literally just, well, he's able to win a lot of the time. Anyway, there's going to be a vote here. I'm probably going to give this to someone else, just so that we can spread out our, you know, proverbial eggs. Even though, to be fair, I actually don't know whether that's even particularly necessary, because I highly doubt that Mr. Horse Thief is actually going to leave. But how did you feel about that particular strategy? Did you think that strategy was relatively decent? I thought it was alright. I'm going to show you the process of what I went through to do that. Oh, Henry, why are you going in there, sir? There we go. Okay. Nice. Oh, get him. Get him. Yes. There we go. We got him. Alright. Let's just go in for a nice little auto-resolve against him. He's going to be super easy to take out. I'm going to take him prisoner just purely for the fact that he is the Emperor. So... you know, he is an emperor. We don't want him to get a new groove at the moment. You know, that would not be a particularly good idea. Unless he's, I don't know, unless he's voiced by David Spade, and or, you know, maybe as John Goodman coming along with him or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that would be a pretty fun time. Anyway, let's try this out. Okay, so we have 109. Oh, it's actually not even that large. Okay, so this is a pretty weak garrison. But let's just try it out and see what happens. Okay, so... oh. Are you serious right now? Henry's army? Are you serious? Is that him? He just escaped, actually. He literally just escaped from me. No, this is just another guy called Henry. That's kind of weird. Okay, so it seems like I will have to actually abandon this siege in favor of leveling up some of these things. I actually thought I had a level up all button, but I think I need party screen enhancements to do that. Okay, yeah. Well, let me see here. Where is Mr. Horse Thief? Because I was kind of hoping that maybe he would do something. Well, never mind. Seems like I'm going to have to do this all by my lonesome. Alright, so here we go. Obviously, we're going to go in here and we're going to see how we do. Now, I'm very much hoping that maybe we're just going to... we're going to scrape on by, because obviously they have a lot more troops than we do, you know? That's one thing that we have to realize. Now... if I can just figure out where did they spawn? Oh, okay. Whoa, yeah, okay, fine. We're going to have to do something about this. So, basically, I'm going to do something that you never see me doing ever, and I'm literally going to be changing my formations before we even start the fight. And I'm just going to... I was kind of thinking, should I use a new... should I use a new formation with my cavalry right here? No, I don't think so. And also shield wall, I don't think is going to be particularly useful here for my infantry either. So we're just going to go. We're just going to go for it, and we're going to have to move relatively quickly up to the top here. Let's move infantry into position, the archers into position as well. I mean, technically what I could do is just charge my whoa, this is way too close. We are way too close. Okay, this is not going to work out too well for us, I don't think. This is not looking particularly good. Well, especially now when I just get absolutely murdered by everything in the area. Oh no, please don't get killed now. Oh, wait a minute. I've got this new weapon. Oh yeah, I've got this new weapon that I made. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah. Let's just tell these guys to charge in. I have no idea how my archers are doing or anything. Oh, this thing is not that good, I don't think. I mean, I made this because it does piercing damage, and I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe piercing damage is going to be slightly more effective, because it's going to make it so that we can actually deal killing blows instead of just having unconsciousness as an option. Although it obviously is just a, you know, it's a percentage chance most of the time anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I'm at very low HP, so I'm probably going to die very soon. So I will just hope that I can do as much damage as possible before that inevitability, and hopefully, hopefully we'll be okay. I don't know. Oh, nice hit. That was a nice double hit right there. Okay, I'm just going to go and put these archers into an auto-delegate just to make sure that they are always in range. I'm not going to get killed by one single spearman, he says, as he probably will die from a single spearman. What do you bet? What do you bet? That would be so hilarious. Please don't die from a single spearman now. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, come on now. Yeah, there we go. We caught up to him. I can't believe it. Wow, look at that. Surprising myself every day with my wonderful... Just died from a single spearman. What do you bet? I knew that was going to happen because I did nothing to prevent it. Yes. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, there we go. We are actually ending up losing quite a few troops, but I think we are going to achieve victory. I think it is most likely going to be a victory on our part, but it's going to be a close one. I'm actually really surprised that we're having such a close victory here. I mean, you can see that. Look at this. It's coming right down to the wire. That's really quite shocking, to be honest. I kind of felt like we had some really, really good troops. If you take a look at my army right now, and you take a look and you see exactly what kind of troops were getting killed, I have massive amounts of Frankish marshals, a load of noble knights. I have, well, I did have a lot of... Whoa, these guys actually got a huge amount of kills. Yeah, the Polish archers were doing amazing. Okay, well that's really, really impressive, but the enemy must have had some insanely good units for them to be able to put up such a vicious fight. But there you go. Anyway, I'm actually going to be taking them all prisoner. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them all prisoner. And, ooh, we got some assassins right here. These guys are actually good. All right, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I don't even have enough space to really take them, but I am going to take them nevertheless. Just because. And we can have tier 5. Sure. Yeah, this is maybe not going to work out too well, but what can I do? I mean, that's the only thing I can really do. I can just take it and that's it. And then we can just hope that maybe I recover my forces quite quickly. That is one thing that I find rather irritating, that we don't have a very quick and easy way to recover our HP. But obviously that's the whole point. That is the whole point. That is the challenge, because otherwise if it were to immediately just, you know, restore itself, it would be insanely imbalanced, you know. And I mean, I guess they could put in like a physician or something like that. I mean, we've seen that in a number of mods, and that could potentially be a solution for that. But obviously, if you take a look at my army right now, look at my army, it's still not even repaired, or repaired. It's still not even restored back to its full HP, which is, well, weird. You know, I feel like that's quite weird. Anyway, I would love to be able to show you this new strategy. So can I please restore myself? Can we please get some HP back? I'm not entirely sure why it's taking so long. Do I really need to go in and actually wait? Is this easier? Yeah, it seems like this is actually easier, even though I have Walk It Off. As far as I'm aware, I do have that perk. And Walk It Off is probably one of my favorites, just because it does allow you to regenerate your forces that much quicker while you're running around. But apparently not that much quicker, because it still took me a long time to be able to do anything in regards to regenerating. So I'm kind of a bit weirded out by that. Anyway, we did end up losing quite a few of our prisoners, but thankfully we still have a massive amount of them, well, massive amount of high tier ones, and we also obviously have the vassals as well. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day, isn't it? Because we just want to make sure that they don't come back immediately and try to besiege. Or shall we say, try to defend us from besieging. Okay, so here we go. So basically what we want to do is we want to get fire ballistas up as soon as possible. That is the first thing that I want to do here. And let's see whether it's actually possible for us to do something. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Mr. Horse Thief is finally getting an army up and running. And as you can see, look at that. The first ballista was already killed. But I found that actually doesn't really matter too much. If I can get a bit lucky here. Yep, we're getting lucky. We're getting lucky. Look at this. We are getting so much luckier now than I was before. Oh, no. See, now this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's just luck. And that's actually one of the reasons why I'm not that big a fan of the overworld siege mechanics. Because even though it should, in my opinion, be a lot more strategic rather than relying on RNG, you know, random number generation. Because if you take a look at it and then see exactly what has happened here, basically what is happening is the enemy has a percentage chance to hit me, and obviously I have a percentage chance to hit them, and obviously dependent on which siege engine you build, of course it all depends on that. You know, that's the whole deal here. And so that's the reason why I say maybe I don't know. Maybe it could be an idea that I don't know. That's the thing. It's really difficult to kind of say whether it should be random or not, because obviously in a realistic situation, if you want to think of it from a realistic position here, and we're just gonna level up Alex right here. Get some vigor. There we go. Nice. Endurance and social increased by 1. That's very nice. Anyway, yeah. So basically, if you think of it from a realism perspective, and you think, ooh, nice, we got this two-handed perk. Yeah, you think, ooh, nice, we got this two-handed perk. Yeah. You think that, but then you also think, well, in real life, well, siege engines are not going to have a 100% chance to hit, obviously. So it is very much a case of, well, you have to add some kind of chance. Yeah, yeah, you see. So that's where it actually comes in, where, you know, you can't really remove the RNG, even though it is definitely something that I would prefer, because from a strategic perspective, you never usually want to have a situation where players are relying on the roll of the dice, unless you're literally playing a game that has that as its core mechanic. You know what I mean? And not in a strategic siege-based situation. But obviously, in this case, I mean, what else is to be done? That's the question. What else is there to do except make it possible for siege engines to miss? There isn't anything else to do, because otherwise, well, what do you have? Then you have a 100% chance to hit, and that's it. You know? And for me, I don't know. For me personally, I feel like what would be actually quite cool is if they reduced the chance, or shall we say not the chance, but reduced the damage of particular siege, and made it so that when something hits, it does less damage. So you have a little bit more, well, shall we say, a little bit more feedback. Because I don't know whether you've noticed, but, well, it's pretty obvious, right? But, you know, let's just you know, say for the sake of it that, I don't know, let's say that a ballista doesn't get killed instantly, and it takes, I don't know, 5 or 6 hits from a catapult. Which is obviously not realistic, okay? Don't just jump into the comments and go, oh, that's not realistic, you know, don't just do that. But here's the thing, okay? I'm just going to explain my thought process on this as I attempt to shoot this guy. Can we hit him? Oh, you ducked just as I was about to hit you. So there we go, we got him. All right, yeah. Anyway, so if we think about it from that perspective, when we say that a ballista has a bit more longevity than what it would actually have in real life, because let's face it, if it gets hit by a catapult, it's gonna get destroyed instantly. I mean, come on, you know, obviously that's gonna happen. But let's say that it takes 5 to 6 hits, or something like that. And let's say a ballista will take, I don't know, 15 hits, or something like that, to destroy a catapult. Because right now, it's taking, I think, like, 5 hits or something from a ballista. From a ballista, it'll take 5 hits or so to kill a catapult. And it takes 1 to 2 hits for a catapult to hit a, well, to kill a ballista. And it's kind of... Oh, I got hit in the head? No, I got hit in the arm by random archers. Oh, oh, that's annoying. Oh, well, it does give me the opportunity to actually speak a little bit, at least, because I was getting very distracted by all that. Anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is, if they made it so that everything had a 100% chance to hit, but all the damage was reduced, I feel like that might be a slightly better way of going about it, because then you wouldn't feel like you were getting, you know, getting like screwed over by just random factors. Because obviously this is partially a strategy game, if you think about it, you know, because conquering things and choosing, or, you know, where you go and what you do, and choosing your strategy and your tactics in combat, obviously it's partially a strategy game. So you never really want to have any kind of random, you know, random factor involved in those situations. You know, for example, if you play a game like, I don't know, what's a game that doesn't really include Declare war against Poland. Are we really doing that? Okay, sure. Why not? Why not? They only have 2 towns and 2 castles, so it should be relatively easy for us to take some stuff from them. And technically we could actually make peace with the Holy Roman Empire, but I don't really want to do that right now, if I can help it. But yeah, anyway, so if they made it so that every single thing was 100% to hit, but did less damage, let's say that it does, I don't know, 80% less damage than what it does right now, I feel like that could be a lot more fun, actually, because you're then going to see very... should we say, not static. What is a good word to actually describe that? Very. What is that actually? What is that particular? What is that word that I'm thinking of right now? Oh, and this is obviously not very good at all. Hello there. Oh dear. I cannot believe that they rebelled instantly. That is so funny. Okay, well. It would just be okay. So basically, I'm just going to talk about this for another 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna cut away, and I'm just going to take this myself again, because apparently they really wanted to do this for some reason. Oh, this is going to be a harsh time had by all here, but it's going to be a lot more predictable, shall we say. And so from it being predictable, that kind of means that you can make plans, and you can make plans of what you're going to do, because look at exactly what's happening right now. Look at what's happening. I'm losing a ballista every 2 seconds, or every second basically, because there are just so many catapults. I'm not really able to do anything. Obviously I could do the reserve thing, I could put them into reserve relatively simply, but that's the thing, even if I do that, it is not a surefire thing that I'm even going to be able to do that before they are destroyed. As you can see, catapult, hit range siege engine, and some of these things actually get destroyed before I'm even able to put them into the reserve, because these things just fire instantly. So, I mean, if I put out all these ballistas at the same time, and boom, look at this. Look at exactly what's happening. We are getting them down, but it is taking a lot of quite a big toll on us. Quite a big toll on us right now. But all I'm saying is it's a lot more predictable damage, and that means that you can make a much better plan strategically about how you're going to play out the siege. And it's not going to be a case of, oh look, I'm just randomly placing all these things out here, and that's it, you know. It's not going to be something like that where it's just like, well, if I win, I win, and if I lose, well then that's just how it is. You know, it's not going to be like that. And so that's kind of the thing that I'm talking about here, you know. It's more predictable damage, and it's probably going to be a lot more satisfying, or at least I think I'd probably find it a lot more satisfying to have a system like that, because I would then feel like my own strategies failed rather than me just getting screwed over by RNG, like I said. Because you can see right here, I mean, sometimes my ballista will survive with about 10% HP, and that's great, that's wonderful, I love that. But other times, well, clearly it doesn't, you know. Other times it definitely doesn't. And you can see here, look, they just literally get destroyed almost instantaneously, and I mean, look at what's happening right there. There's not much for me to do except continue building these things. Whereas if the ballistas survived a little bit longer, I think they might actually be able to beat the catapults eventually. And I think that's the main problem that we're having here. I don't know. I think that is, at least. Alright, so I put out all my catapults, and as you can see, they just made absolutely quick work of the enemy, as you might expect, because that's literally what they're supposed to do. But that's kind of my point. Aren't ballistas actually... Oh, are you serious? The game literally just crashed right now. Are you joking? Okay, well, I'm gonna end the episode off here, but you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this, and then we're gonna pick it up in the next episode after that. But basically, my final thought on it is, I personally feel like ballistas are supposed to counter the slower firing siege engines like catapults and trebuchets. But they don't. Catapults are basically the best option if you're trying to destroy enemy emplacements. Trebuchets are good for destroying walls, and obviously they are hardy. They are very, very hard to kill, and catapults not so much. Obviously, if you put trebuchets, all 4 trebuchets up against 4 catapults, the trebuchets are probably going to win. But catapults are generally the all-purpose thing, and I feel like ballistas, they should be made a little bit more effective, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just my own thought on it. I don't know whether you agree, but I think that generally I feel like catapults are good. I mean, you can see here exactly what happened when I put out catapults. The walls were destroyed really fast. The enemy catapults were destroyed really, really quickly as well. And there you go. That's it. That's all you have. That's all you have to do, I suppose. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.